Okay, welcome everybody. So this is our monthly Tuesday training with Milana. So you guys know that Carrie and Karen do a training for you on the first Tuesday of the month, and I do them on the third Tuesday of the month. So we're focusing on slightly different things. Carrie and Karen really talk about the technical aspects of using coaching. Genie, they answer your questions. I'm here to do a little bit of business and strategy and marketing, and just really helping you with developing and filling your coaching program. So that's why I'm here. I do want to start with something that I noticed yesterday on the call. So if you were in the Get Your Coaching Program Done group, yesterday was our final call with Carrie, and something came up, and I thought that's an interesting question that I don't know that I've ever addressed it. So I thought it would be an interesting conversation to have. So Jim, and I don't see Jim here, he asked, the group started with 25 people and here we are, and there's only 8 or 10 people showing up on the group calls. What does that mean? What do you do with that? How do you prevent that from happening, right? And it definitely can be disheartening when you start your coaching program with a lot of people and then they just start dropping and you're not sure what's happening. So for those of you who were on that call yesterday and heard the question, I will say that as a reminder, people in the Get Your Coaching Program Done received that program as a bonus because they signed up for Coaching Genie. They weren't signing up for Get Your Coaching Program Done directly. It was a bonus program. And for that reason, not all people were really interested in participating in that program, in that group fully. And in order for you to have your group attending and the show up rate higher up, people really need to be fully invested and committed. And some people still watch the recordings of the coaching calls. They still do the modules. They still submit their homework. They post it in the journal. They do the check-ins. They just don't attend coaching calls for whatever reason. They are not as fully committed or connected to the community, right? Because it was a different setup. This never happens. I should say, this should not happen when you are filling your group program, and that is the primary focus of your promotion, right? So we just have a very different setup. The program comes as a bonus. Not everybody wants to be in the group, and that's totally fine. We were there for those who wanted to be in the group, right? Welcome, everybody. If I didn't say hi to you, Donna, Cheryl, Jane, Karen, good to see you, everybody. Yeah, and it's a really good rule of thumb to notice that at about 30% through your program, so if this is an 8-week program, I would say by week 3, that's about 80%, maybe by week 4, because it's a shorter program. So like halfway through, 30 to 40% through the program, you might start that. Just notice that there will be fewer attendees in your group coaching calls. The engagement starts to fall off. People start to drop off from the calls. Usually it happens because the level of work becomes harder, more involved. And the people who are truly committed and wanted to work, they will stay with the group. They'll continue to come and ask questions, get some laser coaching. But people who are not fully committed, they'll start finding reasons not to come to the call. So what you want to do as a good coach, because we want to be good coaches, we want to build something into the program that will elevate their level of commitment, that will reconnect people to the coaching program. Maybe it's a few extra emails with encouragement and reminders. Maybe it's prizes as incentives, right? Maybe it's some more specific attention to what they're doing. I personally like to comment in journals when the group is small, or I like to really connect with people on my group coaching calls personally, as well as through breakout sessions, right? Because remember, when people attend your calls, it is because they want to be part of those calls. They want to be connected to everybody in the group. They want to brainstorm, get feedback. And so the type of assignments that you give to people creates the need and desire for feedback. That's when people will come to your calls, right? If they don't feel like they value or appreciate other people's feedback, they just won't come to the calls, right? So the reason people come to the live calls is because they want feedback from you and other participants. They like the participants, then they feel connected, right? So this is up to you to create that connection between people, but really having a conversation, creating that rapport, helping them feel safe and allow them to be vulnerable. And just the flow of the program should be such that people do the homework and they feel wins. There's one secret reason that people may not be attending the calls, right? Thank you, Donna. I have experienced this frustration before. Yeah, it can definitely be frustrating when people just stop showing up on the calls. There's one other reason, and I don't know if that you've ever thought about it, but if your clients feel embarrassed about not doing the work that they were supposed to do, they probably won't show up. They might tell themselves the story of, well, I'm not prepared and I'm embarrassed. And they'll probably ask, Milana will probably ask for, how did you feel about your assignment? Which is my favorite question. Were there any insights? Did you do the homework? So sometimes I'll put people on the spot a little bit, gently, but maybe they don't want to feel that way. They don't want to feel embarrassed. So that's one of the reasons that people may not be attending the live call. So your goal as a coach, first of all, it's totally up to you and your coaching style. I'm more of a teacher, so I'll call on people and say, okay, Eileen, what did you do last week? And Eileen might say, sorry, I didn't do my homework, right? And I'll say, okay, let's ask Karen. And Karen will say, yeah, I have this question. So we'll just continue with the conversation. I'm not going to give you, a D or an F for not doing homework, but I like to really be involved in the group and really have a conversation, right? I don't use group coaching calls to teach. I use them to really coach and inspire and re-inspire, because people lose connection to the material, to their purpose of why they're in the program all the time. So just keep that in mind. And then Carrie was asked about refunds, and she said, no, we don't give refunds. Milana doesn't give refunds. That was actually not accurate. I do give refunds. I think Carrie got confused because for done for you services, we don't do refunds because the train has moved. She started doing the work. She started creating the curriculum. We can't give a refund after she already invested hours into your curriculum. For coaching programs, group coaching programs, we absolutely do give refunds. However, the reason that I like the journal feature in the Coaching Genie platform is because I get to go into Coaching Genie journal under your name and see if you've actually been doing the work. Because if somebody's emailing me saying, I'm not really getting the results I expected, I will go into the journal and see, well, have they done the work? Are they participating, right? And so usually I will attempt to revert their desire for a refund, their request, see if there's anything else we can do. I usually have a policy, like the program I did with Jennifer Deep Stratton called Webinars That Sell. What we decided to do is, if you go through the first 3 modules or 3 weeks of the program and you don't feel like it's for you, that's okay, we will refund you. After that point, the refunds stop, right? So we do not honor a refund request after they receive module number 4. So it's your business. You decide how you want to do this, right? So just because I do it this way doesn't mean that you have to follow that same way. I was in a partnership with somebody a few years ago, and he really did not like giving refunds. So we actually had really strict policies where in order to request a refund, you had to show 52 weeks of work. And so like lots of hoops to jump through, didn't feel good. And I just kind of like let it go. It was it was a difficult partnership. Some of you know my previous business. So anyway, I just wanted to chat about that, let you know that it's your business. You decide what policies you want to put in place, right? All right, so that's kind of like the first thing that I wanted to address. What I also wanted to talk about today, and hopefully this will be timely and helpful for you as you are entering next year. I read a really funny quote this morning. Don't say that 2022 is your year. You know how people say, this is going to be my year. Don't claim it your year just yet. Step into it cautiously and carefully, right? Because we claim 2022 or 2020 to be our year. And then 2021, this will be our year. So we're just going to be carefully and cautiously stepping into the next year. But with that, I want to give you some tips, and I call these the 12 factors that influence the success of your coaching program. Those of you who have been through Get Your Coaching Program Done, will recognize some of it, but I think it's important to summarize them and reiterate them as you're looking at your coaching program. So your program is more likely to be successful if, number one, if it has an exciting and unique big idea, some kind of like a really unique message that will make it stand out, because there are many products and programs out there on your topic, right? So having a unique big idea, or some people call it a hook, will make it much easier to market, because you'll have something to talk about, something to discuss. It's, you know, a big idea is usually a conversation point, right? I'm not going to go into what a big idea is. It was part of Get Your Coaching Program Done, so you should have access to it if you have enrolled into the program. But essentially, it's a unique message behind your program. Okay, so that's number one, will make it easier to market. Number two, it should have a clear niche focus with an easy to reach target audience. So if you can picture your ideal customer for this program, and you know exactly where he or she spends their time, then you've got a clear niche focus, right? Because then you can really speak to them, you can market to them. The more specific your niche focus is, the easier it will be to have your program be successful. Number three, does your program solve a big problem that people are already searching to solve? This is true, especially in the coaching industry, where we want to teach or to coach people or to help them with something, but we have never asked ourselves, do people want that problem to be solved? Or is it not a priority for them? And then it becomes really difficult to market, right? So it takes too long to educate people about a problem that they're not fully aware of. So it's much easier to focus on a problem that they are already trying to solve. So this is kind of like a mental checklist. Does your program match these criteria? Are these factors present in your coaching program? Number four, does your program support your biggest belief or your biggest stand? In other words, it's congruent with your own story, with your own beliefs, your own experience, your own values, because then your marketing will feel very authentic and natural. It'll just be easy. Your marketing will be very organic, because you're just going to be telling your story or talking about your experience. So does your program support your beliefs or your biggest stand, so that it's easier for you to talk about it, to talk about why you created your program, right? So every time I talk about coaching Genie, I tell a story of how I created it, why I created it. Now, Coaching Genie is software, it's not a program, but it's still a product. And I have a very authentic story, because I wanted to deliver a coaching program that I delivered 6 months ago, and I felt like I was starting from scratch. And I was tired of starting from scratch for every one of my coaching programs. So I wished for a magic button that I could just click, and my program would be magically ready to deliver again. So that's how Coaching Genie was created, right? Do you have a story like that? Is there a stand that you believe in that you're taking? And that's why you created your program, right? Does that make sense? I know I'm kind of like talking and I can't see you guys, but I do know you're here. Michaela, Melanie, Tanya, welcome everybody. Okay, wonderful. Okay, excellent. And Gail, I see you here as well. Wonderful. Okay, Norma, you're here as well. Awesome. Okay, very cool. So, so that was number 4. Number 5, does your program make you excited to actually deliver it? You believe in what you teach so much that you can't wait to share it with others. So it's just a level of excitement for you, because if you're not, it's also going to be harder to sell. Yeah, it may be something that people need and want and the problem you want to solve, but if you are not internally excited about teaching it or delivering it or running the program, there's always going to be some kind of internal block, and you may not even realize that that's what's blocking the success of your program. It's because you just don't care enough about it. You don't want to deliver it, right? So check in with yourself. Number 6, does the program position you as the go-to expert in your niche? And I'm happy to give you this checklist, by the way. So if you are not taking notes or you're not in a place where you can do that, don't worry about it. Plus we're recording so you can watch it again. So number 6 is, does it position you as the go-to expert in your niche? And why it's important is that every program you put out there needs to connect you to a specific topic or niche that you want to be associated with, right? So it would be very strange for me to suddenly start teaching, let's see, Facebook ads. I'm going to pick on Facebook ads. I don't like Facebook ads. I don't understand them. I spend so much time and money on trying to make them work. And I don't want my name to be associated with Facebook ads. That would be incongruent, right? Sorry, guys. We're trying to get rid of the postman or whoever is here. I apologize. Yeah, live is fun. Okay. So that was number 6, is how does it position you and your name as the industry expert with the topic or expertise area that you want to be associated with, right? So that's number 6. Number 7, is it easy to explain to ideal clients or to referral partners? In other words, will people quickly understand the purpose of your program? I was just talking to somebody earlier today, and she was trying to explain her program, and she was talking for 10 minutes. I still didn't get it. And I go into self-blame mode, like, oh, maybe I'm just not smart enough to understand what she's saying, or I can't focus enough to really grasp the topic. For 10 minutes, I could not understand what she was an expert on. And so you never want to be in that situation. You want your program to be easily and quickly understood within seconds. Like, I would say 30 seconds is like the most that you want to spend explaining your program. So is it easy to explain to ideal clients and to referral partners and maybe joint venture partners what the purpose of your program is? So the easier it is to explain, the more successful your program will be, because then your marketing will be very clear. There is nothing more that will hold back your program success than a complicated, than a difficult to understand description of your program, right? So explain it to a few people who have never heard of your program and see their reaction. If you're kind of seeing them a little bit puzzled or confuzzled, as my daughter likes to say, chances are you need a clearer message, okay? Number 8, is it easy? So this is a more advanced concept. So I'm going to pause on this for a second. Is it easy to create marketing content around your program? So you should be able to write emails, blog posts, give interviews, create videos, and not feel like you're giving away too much of the actual program. This can be a little tricky. I know that a lot of you are probably feeling that way, like, oh my God, if I have to write all this content, create all this content, chances are people won't eat my program. I'll just give everything away, right? So can you teach, can you share, can you talk about your program? Can you create content without giving away the farm, without giving away the actual program? Will people still need your program? Even if you teach some content, that's a tricky one, right? So, get your coaching program done is an example I'm going to use because many of you have been through it. When I market Get Your Coaching Program Done, I talk about the importance of having a coaching program. I talk about the challenges that are in the way of creating a coaching program. I talk about the transformation that is going to happen when you have a coaching program. I give examples, and notice, never do I actually teach the program itself. So that's what I'm suggesting that you think about. Can you market? Can you talk about your program? Can you create content around your program that doesn't actually teach the program, doesn't actually give away the program? And I just saw a question, so let me take a quick look. Okay. Donna is asking, so would you be focusing more on their problem and the need for a solution? Yeah, I would definitely talk about the problem. Like the problem, if you don't have a coaching program, is that you can't leverage your business as a coach, right? You continue to do one-on-one and you just can't leverage. You keep reinventing your coaching sessions. And so I can talk about different things here. I can talk about business models. I can talk about the productivity and how difficult it becomes to run a business when you have a full calendar of free sessions and paid sessions and your life becomes not your own. There's so many things I can talk about, right? So you're right, Donna, you talk about the problem and the need for a solution, the challenges that arise on the way of looking for a solution or creating the solution. So yeah, think about what kind of content you could be creating. If the answer is no, then you may need a different topic for your program. Maybe it's just not the right topic for a coaching program. And I would need examples and to see what you're thinking of as far as your coaching program. Typically, you can do this. It's just how you think about creating content. Number 9, does it fit my business model? Does your coaching program fit your business model? So it must feel like it's part of your business and your product line. So it's not a standalone program. And after you create it, you're just not sure what to do with it, right? What I mean by that is, do you have another opportunity for clients to work with you? For example, if you have a coaching program that is 8 weeks, what do you want people to do next? Do you want them to enroll in your high ticket year-long program? Or do you have a virtual retreat, a 3-day virtual retreat where you invite people into your coaching program? Like, is it a part of your overall product sequence or product offerings, right? Does it fit your business model? Number 10, this has always been a big one for me because I use a lot of joint venture partnerships to promote my programs. But when I think of marketing my program, or if I think about creating a new program, I always ask myself, like, that is somewhere running always in the back of my mind, will my JV partners be excited to promote it, to share it? So if joint ventures are part of your marketing strategy, it is important that your potential partners can share it with their audience and actually make money with it, right? That they get excited. I remember when I first created my Simplicity program, my JV partner said to me, I'll promote it for you, but only because it's you, Milana. So they weren't very excited because they weren't really understanding what the heck my Simplicity program was all about. So I needed a new name. And I ultimately renamed it into something else, which I'll actually be offering in 2022. But the idea is that if you're using referral partners or joint venture partners, you want to imagine sharing the name or sharing the focus of your program with your potential partners and see, just picture how they're going to react. Are they going to be excited to share it? JV partners are excited to share it when they believe in it and when they believe they can make money with it, right? Unless you have some super altruistic referral partners who will just share it without worrying about commissions, right? That happens too. They simply believe in you, they believe in your message, they believe in your process, they just want to share it. So that was number 10. We have two more. So can it be, so number 11 is, can it be really easily expanded with an upsell or downsell? So it opens your market when you can offer your program in multiple ways at different price points, right? Can your program be offered as a course? Can your program be offered as a retreat? Can your program have an upsell, like a natural upsell? So for example, Get Your Coaching Program Done is an 8-week or 6 to 8 week program, depending on how we're offering. So let's say it's an 8-week program. And then, there will always be people who go through the program and they still need more support. So we created a way to support people in creating their programs for them. So you may remember that Carrie Mitchell also offers done for you curriculum. So she actually creates your entire program for you. That's the next opportunity for us to invite people into, right? So can your program be expanded or used in any other way for you to really monetize your expertise, right? And number 12, and this is very relevant to Coaching Genie, is can it be easily turned into a group program? When you're ready, you can offer your coaching program as a group program, right? And so, because you could create a coaching program for one-on-one client, right? Can you offer it as a group? And I'm just looking through my list to see, make sure that I offered. Oh, there's a couple more that I wanted to share. Does your program, can your program naturally create community around it? Like conversations, right? Are there conversations around it? This is great for marketing purposes, but also for actually delivering the program. So that's kind of all I wanted to share today. I'm gonna take a look at your questions. Okay, Melanie is asking, do you provide your Coaching Genie customers with Coaching Genie logo files? I would like that to promote that. My program is built on your platform. We can absolutely do that, Melanie. If you email us tech@coachinggenie.com, I'm happy to send you the logo file. That's a really good point. It's a really good request. Thank you. Michaela is asking, I have thought about the course and retreat out of it, but not of the upsell. That's a good tip. Yeah, just I'm all about the leverage and seeing how you can turn your coaching program into other ways to serve your clients, right? And the words signature program have been thrown around all the time, but does anybody really understand the value of the word signature program? So to me, a signature program is something that I want to be known for, and I want to be associated with that program. So it needs to be branded in a way that people think of me when they hear that topic and that name. Signature program is also something that is based on a process or a method that I developed. So the next year, I'm going to be launching a program in the summertime. And it's going to be based on it's going to be a 5-week program, and each week there's going to be a tool, an assessment, so I have 2 assessments and 3 tools that are not assessments, they're just tools. And each tool is part of my process. And by the end of the program, people will get a result, a specific result. And so that's my signature program. And I want to be known for that program. And I want that program to lead people eventually into using Coaching Genie, right? See, remember how I was talking about connecting your programs and your products within your business so that it's not just a standalone, but there is some kind of my mentor used to call it intentional congruence, where all of your products, programs, and offers are supporting one another. They're connected. They're naturally inviting people into another offer, right? Okay. Eileen is asking, what is a good resource to go for marketing your program? I need to get better at this as I'm marketing now. It depends on how you want to market, Eileen. Do you want to market with a 5-day online challenge, a webinar, a blog, a YouTube channel, right? It really depends on what your super skills are, where your passion lies, right? So that's something that you really want to make a decision on. And then, I personally have struggled with Facebook ads because I need to be able to explain my program. And to explain my program, I need to actually create launch content like a video, a webinar, an ebook, something where I take people on a journey so that they arrive at the decision that they need my program. And then my program is going to be the solution to their problem. So Facebook ads don't really work for me because I need to explain, but they work for many others. So it depends on how you want to do that. Gail says, one of my marketing peeps strongly suggested I trademark my course. Definitely not a lawyer, so I'm not sure how to answer that very accurately. I will tell you that it's very difficult to protect your intellectual property online, which is why I absolutely love coaching programs, because nobody can deliver them the way I can deliver them. Even if somebody decides to copy, steal, and resell my intellectual property and ignore the trademark and ignore the copyright, I am one of a kind, right? And Gail, you are one of a kind. So putting coaching on top of your material is always going to be valuable. So I don't know what to tell you. I have trademarked and copyrighted all of my stuff. And I can tell you my stuff has been sold even under my maiden name from years ago, all over the internet. And it's very difficult to stop these people. So the other tip I'll give you is, if that's a concern for you, make sure to plaster your name and your website name everywhere in your course material so that ultimately people end up in your funnel, in your world, on your website, right? We are sort of out of time, but I hope that this was helpful. This is the last call of the year, guys. And I just want to say I'm really grateful that you have all come here to attend this call and to ask your questions. You're very welcome. For those of you who don't know, I am in the process of EFT practitioner certification. EFT is tapping. Some of you were in my tapping class a week ago. We had a lot of fun. And I am looking for, I need to do 50 sessions. So if you are interested in a session, please, Melanie says she's an EFT practitioner. Yay, we have EFT experts on the call here. I'm going to give you my email right here. If you are looking to do an EFT session to help you reduce your fears of marketing, any kind of fears, emotionally charged thoughts, negative beliefs, anything that you feel like the mindset, anything you feel is on the way of growing your business, send me an email and I'll give you my calendar link and we'll get you on the calendar. Course in Udemy to start next year. Yeah, I actually went through the Udemy course on EFT. And then once I started the training, the actual training, everybody was really criticizing Udemy because it makes you feel like you can do EFT tapping just after doing a course, which is understandable. But yeah, it was a fun course. It does not have to be in person. All tapping is done online, just like this. We're gonna do tapping. It will look absolutely weird and funny if you've never done it. My husband laughs every time I do it. I still have not convinced him to try it with me. But it will definitely look a little odd. The first time I tapped was 8 years ago. I had panic attacks for months, and one of my friends suggested tapping, and I did 1 hour of tapping and my panic attacks disappeared for 2 weeks. So I didn't know why it worked or how EFT works, but there was something about it that nothing else worked, and EFT did. So oh, awesome, Gary Craig, yes. Oh, we do have EFT experts here. Yeah. So just send me an email and we'll schedule a session with you. I would love to meet you. I'm making this offer only to my current customers in coaching Genie platform. I know it's kind of like a weird combination, software and EFT. They feel like two opposites of the woo-woo spectrum, of the normal spectrum, right? But if you don't believe in tapping, we can start with it. Even though I don't believe in tapping, I choose to try it anyway. So we're going to start with that with you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you guys are celebrating. I will see you in 2022. And thank you so much for sharing this training with me. And I hope this was helpful. I will be posting the items that I was discussing in our Facebook group. Okay. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.